Good morning, Don in London. It's August the 4th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. So, in recovery from addiction, my substance, alcohol, my behaviour, workaholic, relationshipaholic, friendaholic, gymaholic, any old holic, you name it, and food probably as well. When we're an addict, we look to fix our problems quickly, and the speed of our recovery often is better slower than fast. However, that should not stop us from trying to do something useful each day towards recovery. And what helps me? Family, community, society, friends, and a fellowship. And that fellowship is AA. And Alcoholics Anonymous, I guess, has saved my life more than once. I guess every day I go, get some experience, wisdom and hope. So for me, integral to my well-being are a number of issues. How to love, be loved, have something useful to do, to be open, honest and willing to change my attitudes and behaviour on a daily basis. And that does not mean I'm either a saint nor a prophet. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Sometimes I upset people with these videos. I hope I don't. The idea is to share a message of experience, strength and hope about recovery. And it's my recovery, and it's not representing anybody else's. And as far as the Fellowship of AA goes, it's full of unique, authentic people who have their own ideas and opinions on everything. Thank goodness, because they are just like anybody else. We're all unique, authentic people, and the more we find our way to improve our choices in life, the better it can be. It doesn't mean it's going to be rosy. It means we have to go through hardships as much as anybody else. So in these hard times, it's a bit of a stretch to be happy. At the same time, if we look at our own behaviour, where we are and what we can do, we get some serenity and acceptance about what is possible and what is not possible. So, progress, not perfection for me, just simple progress. And the key here for me today, I'm neither saint nor prophet. And that was said by Scott Peck when he was asked, how did he feel about The Road Less Travelled, the book he wrote. And he said, I'm neither prophet nor saint. And in his obituary it said, the chain-smoking, gin-sodden philanderer Scott Peck has died, saying those words. Not saying those words on his deathbed, but had that in mind. So none of us are saints or prophets, and none of us are in charge, as it seems. And a higher power can help us. So my higher power is very simple. Probably anything but me. And what we come to understand is our own faith and courage about how to live our lives to the best choices we've got. And as I say, AA is integral to my life, so I share about it here. I don't represent AA, cannot. It's full of unique, authentic people, and on any given day in a meeting, that is what AA is. So sometimes we hear great things, and sometimes we hear things we just don't want to hear because they're none of our business, or somebody's quite unwell but only just getting into recovery. And that's the gift. A fellowship which does not judge. A fellowship which includes people who just don't want to drink a day at a time. And they can say what they like. And because of the anonymity, it's a sanctuary for me and others to find out who we are, just simply on a daily basis. So me sharing here on YouTube, it's about me and my recovery. And I'm saying that emphatically. I've had one or two jibes from outside sources actually, but I won't go into those here. They're not part of my video. So, fellowship, the AA fellowship, if you ever go, if you ever have a need to, this statement is said at the beginning, so it gives an idea of the flavour of what will happen. And it says, Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's the AA statement of intent, if you like. On a daily basis, in a meeting, that's what you're going to look at. And it's contained on that little card. And inside this little card, it has the 12 steps of action, and that's about changing our attitude and behaviour. And it has 12 traditions of AA, which are there to preserve the fellowship and make it possible for it to work on a daily basis. And the traditions are what they are, and interpreted as we understand them, and that's the same for everything. So whatever we do, we try and find cooperation, inclusion, and deal with this desire to be sober. So those 12 steps of action, very useful, and it's step 8 for August for me, 12 steps, 12 months. And in one of the books I use, called The Daily Reflections, this one, it's all about step 8 in the main, but last night was a great meeting where I went, and it was in the Boltons. I can say I was there, but I can't say anybody else was, except there were people I know and care about and love, and it was all about step 11, but I'm going ahead here. Anyway, from this book, Daily Reflections, it says here, Seeds of Faith, on August the 4th. Faith, to be sure, is necessary, but faith alone can avail nothing. We can have faith, yet keep God out of our lives. And I don't know that anybody needs to keep God. I don't know that anybody needs to keep God out of their lives, but it's our understanding what God is which is important, or the higher power that we have around us. So, as a child, I constantly questioned the existence of God. To a scientific thinker like me, no answer could withstand a thorough dissection, until a very patient woman finally said to me, "You must have faith." With that simple statement, the seeds of my recovery were sown. Today, as I practice my recovery, cutting back the weeds of alcoholism, slowly I'm letting those early seeds of faith grow and bloom. Each day of recovery, of ardent gardening, brings the higher power of my understanding more fully into my life. My God has always been with me through faith, but it is my responsibility to have the willingness to accept His presence. I ask God to grant me the willingness to do this, to do His will. And you know what? Because it was a step 11 thing, all about prayer and meditation, which I'll cover in November, I found that every opinion that people express about how they utilise prayer and meditation is extremely important to them, and they have their own opinion, and I need not have any opinion about their outlook. What works for them is what works for them. It's the tradition 3, which is the imperative, desire to stop drinking and stay stopped on a daily basis. So a lifeline one day long. And I was ferreting through, as Bill sees it, well, it wasn't actually, I just do them in linear order, that you can read as many of these on a daily basis to help you find where you are. And on page 166 it says here, "Fear no evil." Though we of AA find ourselves living in a world characterised by destructive fears as never before in history, we see great areas of faith and tremendous aspirations towards justice and brotherhood. Yet no prophet can assume to say whether the world outcome will be blazing destruction or the beginning, under God's intention, of the brightest era yet known to mankind. And it goes on a little bit more, and it says at the bottom, "We shall fear no evil, thy will, not ours, be done." And you know what? We are all subject to nature and providence and what's going on with the universe. And a great big rock might come and hit the earth at any time, and we're all gone. So whatever it is that we believe in, courage, faith and confidence to make our days work, to experience how life can be, to make better choices, is all part of it for me. And the step 8 is all about making a list of people we have harmed and being willing to make those amends. And it's hard with a long drinking history to work out who we have harmed, but from the step 4 inventory of our good and bad, we can probably find where our resentments and anger were, and why we included or excluded people in our life, or why they needed to exclude us because of our behaviour and our attitudes. So for me, August 4th, 2009, a bit bleary-eyed, didn't get to sleep till late. But a good meeting of AA last night put me back in balance, and I'm here not to judge the world. It can judge me, and the higher power can. I just need to get on with sobriety, be open, honest and willing to experience life as it is on a daily basis. And the serenity prayer, even though I don't know what the prayer might mean to other people, to God or good conscience or your higher power, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, and often to leave other people quite on their own to get on with their life.